and welcome to Knit Night 52, the Sweet Lavender Knits podcast. My name is Christine and I'm coming to you from just outside of Toronto, Ontario in Canada. Today is January the 3rd, 2021. A Happy New Year to all of you. Welcome if you are new and welcome those that are returning. And thank you for being with me all through 2020. If you have, I know some of you have been with me right from the beginning of the journey, and I really want to thank you for your support. You can find me on Instagram as sweet_lavender1 and on Ravelry as sweetlavender1. We also have a Ravelry group called Sweet Lavender Knits Group, so come on by, check us out. I hope you will join in. Today I have a finished object, some works in progress, and some acquisitions, what I'm going to call lovely things from now on, and some plans for 2020 for this podcast. So why don't you grab your needles, your favorite project, something nice to drink, and let's get started. Well, Happy New Year to all of you. And as you will probably notice, for those that are returning, this is a new setup for me. The Knit Night is being filmed on a camera as opposed to my iPhone. So I'm trying it out. I'm not sure about the video. I'm sure I can see the video quality, but I'm not sure about the audio output. So I'm trying to speak a little loud as well, as it doesn't come naturally to me, but I will try, and hopefully it will be good. If not, I will have to make some changes for the next time, so please bear with me in advance for that. And the other thing is I'm also using some extra lighting. I have a light box. It's not new. I've had both the camera and the light box for a while. I've just been a little apprehensive about using it, but I thought I'd go for it and just start the year off on that note. So right off the bat, I would like to just talk about some of the plans I have for Sweet Lavender Knits in this podcast, or yes, my Knit Nights as I call it, for 2021. And I know in the past that I've only been able to film sort of irregularly, but when I have been regular, so to speak, it would be between 2 and 3 weeks apart. But I thought I'd change that and make them, even if they have to be like shorter videos, but just to try and keep it on a rhythm of a weekly podcast. So if you have not hit that notification bell and you've subscribed to me, please do so, just so that you would know as a reminder that when I put out a video, and so that you can be part of that midnight on the day that I do. And also I usually film on a Sunday like today, but I thought I would change up that as well and try and film on a Saturday, giving me a little time to edit and possibly put out the podcast. I'll watch out for it around Sunday morning, starting next week. And so that would be one of the things. The other thing I did start on the previous midnight, but didn't mention it because I only thought of it while I was doing the uploading and the notes and all that, was to put in timestamps. So you will find timestamps for this podcast down in the description box, and if you want to jump ahead to a different section, you will find the timestamps for the different sections down below. I've had a lot of help from one of my viewers in the past doing show notes for me on Ravelry, but again, because Ravelry is not accessible to a lot of people, I thought it would just be a lot easier if I just put in the show notes to this podcast, which I've never done before, show notes really, is to just put it down in the description box below. So basically I would mention pattern names, yarn names, if I have them, anything that I mentioned, maybe a podcast or something, I would put that down below. I don't know how detailed I'm going to be doing the show notes, but if you find it helpful, if you have tips for me on how to cater it a little bit more towards what you like to see, then do let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. So yes, that is one of the things. And I just want to say that I hope all of you have had a little bit of a rest over December, the end of December, whether it be Christmas holidays, or the different festivities that you might have enjoyed. And I understand that it's been a very different year, 2020 has, but let's hope that 2021 will be a little better for all of us, and let's just try and make the most of it. I am one of those who try to see a little bit of good in things wherever I can. Not to say that I don't have difficult days too, I do, but it's nice to try and see the silver linings. And I can tell you that 2021 or 2020, the silver lining in that is just really, there have been quite a few for me. One, being able to work from home. I've said it here many times. The other was that I was able to actually spend more time outdoors than I usually do, while enjoying it and not just being, ushered from the car to the train, or from the train to, trying to walk to my office building or something like that, but more just trying to enjoy nature. Lots of walks with Charlie. In spite of the cold, I just look forward to some days where I do want to get out and go for a walk, and just been more active, which is good health-wise. And I would say one of the biggest pluses has been that I've been able to craft a little bit more. Not as many finished objects as I did maybe in previous years, but that's understandable. But I've really enjoyed my crafting, which has been a real bonus for me. So over the last 2-3 weeks, obviously we were quite busy till the very end, but I had my parents come and stay with us for Christmas Day, and 2 days after that they were here for 3 days, 2 nights, and it was such a blessing to have them here. My kids enjoyed having them, and it was just I did not allow myself to think about work or any other kind of tasks that needed to be done, chores that needed to be done, but just enjoyed the time with them. And it was nice. It was really nice in spite of everything that was going on outside of here. We are in lockdown here in Ontario, and it has been quite strict over the last week, or right after Boxing Day, I think it was. And I am trying not to listen to the news too much, because it's not looking too good. But then again, I guess it's not just here, it's in a lot of places. And this is a very, very big city, highly populated, and it is quite hard to keep the numbers down. But that being said, I want to send out a shout out to all of our essential workers and those who are caregivers, that you are doing a fantastic job. Keep up with it, and it means the world to us who, for me, little things like being able to receive the mail up to my doorstep, and everything just happening almost as smooth as it was before. It means a lot to us, and I want to say thank you for your service. Thank you for doing what you do, and you have our prayers and our love. Going on the calendar, and this is January 3rd. You have a few more weeks if you have not started or joined in on the Sweet Lavender SockALong, which is a knitting along that I am knitting or crocheting. I guess you could crochet a sock. If you haven't joined in, it's the details. I will link it down below, but I will also maybe put in some point form notes if you're not able to go to the Ravelry link, where you can participate both on Instagram as well as on Ravelry. And it is to knit at least one sock, and if you knit a pair, that counts as one entry as well. And knit as many pairs as you want, and you can double dip if you want, and there's so many different SockALongs going on at the moment, so feel free to double dip if you have to, double, triple, you know, however many. And the other thing is just have fun with it. So if you've never tried knitting a sock before but wanted to, then go ahead, try it out. I will put some links down below to wonderful tutorials on YouTube and where they walk you through how to knit a sock, toe up or cuff down. I think I have links for both, so I will add that down below in the description box. So do join in, and there is a yarny prize at the end, and I forgot to bring it with me. I'm sorry, and I am working on a project bag to go with the prize as well, and if I finish that on time, hopefully, I will have that to show you. Moving along to finished objects. I have one finished object to share with you today, and it is one that I have to say was a lot of fun to knit. These are my, wow, that is pretty bright. I'm just looking on the viewfinder there. These are my Yuletide cheer socks. It's a lovely pattern. It's a free pattern by Tracy, my friend Tracy from Instagram, and she's also a viewer of the podcast. And this was her first pattern, and I have to say I loved it. I am on just enjoying color work at the moment, so let me try and bring it up close. I don't know if it'll focus. That's kind of hard. There's some of the color work. Yeah. Okay, that's gonna take some getting used to. I'll just hold it back here. Yep, these are lovely socks. And so the last time when I spoke to you, I mentioned that I didn't have the yarn for it, and I wanted to order some rustic yarn, and I was thinking of Jameson Smith, yes, or Rama. And I was going to place an order for it, and then we heard of lockdown actually, and I wasn't sure whether that was a good idea or not, because, you know, what if they stopped the post again, and things were quite delayed the last time, so I didn't want to take a chance. So this is some yarn that I had with me, but I wasn't too happy to use it, but I thought I really need to knit up these socks, and these were Christmas socks that I knit for myself. So I knit the kids a pair each, and I thought this would be a lovely pair of socks that I could have for me, because it's been so long since I've knit a pair of socks for myself. So that's what I did with just leftover yarn. So I don't even have the, you know, the names of the yarn to show you, but it's just, this has a lot of nylon or acrylic in it, so I wasn't too happy to use it, but it's okay. I think my gauge has been a little loose, obviously, over, you know, the Christmas holidays. I've just been a little more relaxed, but this is even before that. I changed to a larger needle, like the pattern says, to knit up the colorwork section, and I did switch back to the smaller size needles, but it's a little looser than I usually have my socks, and it could just be the yarn too, I'm not sure. But I have to say I really love this pair of socks, and I have worn it, I've washed it, and maybe that's why it's a little saggy, I don't know, but there it is. That's my finished object. Moving along to works in progress, I have two things I want to share with you. First, we'll do the knitting. So, as I finished that pair of Yuletide cheer socks right at 11:47 p.m. on Christmas Eve, and I needed them for Christmas Day. Christmas Day is when we open up the presents for the kids, and you know, we were wearing our socks, and we took some pictures and all of that. So I'll try to pop a picture here maybe of them wearing the socks, and or their feet rather, because they are camera shy. And I finished that on Christmas Eve. So on Christmas Day, and I just realized I'm in the middle of a row. That is terrible, isn't it? I'm sorry about that. But Christmas Day, I cast on for Ellie of CrafthouseMagic. She had put out a lovely pattern called the Mistletoe Kisses pattern. And I started it, that was my Christmas cast on. I don't usually do a Christmas cast on, but I know everyone's familiar with the Christmas Eve cast on that I've done a few years. But this year there was no way I was able to do anything on Christmas Eve because I was busy preparing. I was also supposed to be working. So yes, I had not planned anything for it. I have finished one of the sock and I will try to show it to you if it focuses. It's a lovely pattern. It's got some bubbles on it, if you can see. Oops, there we go. Lovely bubbles on it. It's a lovely pattern. I've really enjoyed it. A little bit of lace work, and you have the twisted rib on the top, and these bubbles have been so much fun that I want to now put bubbles in everything. It's a very neat technique, really. So the way Ellie explains the pattern is that you have a little bit of concentration for the lace work. She has it both, the pattern both written out as well as charted. And once you follow the instructions, and I just noticed something. Once you follow the instructions and go past the chart, then you have all this stocking net to and finish your heel. Then you can just knit through stocking net till you get to the toe. And so I took it very literally to be a very relaxing knit, which it was. It was amazing. Right after I got past the lace section, I did my fish lips kissed heel here and went straight through, and I was almost towards the toe when I realized, oh wait a minute, this is a sock set and I'm supposed to be using that contrasting color for the heel, but I had just totally forgotten. So then I put in the contrasting toe, and I just did a decreased toe on the with the contrasting yarn. And I now need to remember to do that with the second sock. So I started the second sock yesterday, and I've completed the rib, the twisted rib. There. Twisted rib. I've completed the bobbles on one side, and I have to do the bobbles on the other side. And the last bubble on this side. And then I'll be on my way through the lace pattern, and again some relaxing knitting to be done through the week. I'm trying to get this done, the lace part of it, today, so that I can have some relaxing stocking knit through the week. And hopefully this should be a finished pair by, let's say, next podcast maybe. So let me show you the yarn. Lovely sock set, like I said. And it's caked up here, and it is called All I Want for Christmas Is You. And it comes with a contrasting mini, and it's this lovely green color. It's like a minty green, sort of, and it goes really well together. You're probably wondering what this is. So I watch Dawn of Dawn's Days, and she had been doing Vlogmas. One of her Vlogmas, she mentioned how somebody had suggested, or she saw it, I think she received a bag of minis from someone, and they had it in these little skin things. I don't know what you call them, these nylon baggies that you get vegetables in sometimes. So I thought that was a great idea, and mine is a little big, as you can see, but I've just doubled it up, and it holds the caked yarn like a cozy, and I have it as a center pull ball. I think Dawn mentioned this, that you don't end up with yarn buff, so I'll have to try to see how far it gets before it becomes yarn buff. But this is, I thought it was a great idea, so I thought I would just give it a try, and yeah, that's what I have in there. So yes, the Mistletoe Kisses pattern by Ellie of CrafthouseMagic. I have really enjoyed working through it, and I have it in my Christmas bag that I got from Karen, my friend Karen from Instagram, who was so lovely with her advent. And what you did see in the beginning was maybe 2 sets of little yarn minis, and one is I've just separated them out as a darker set and a lighter set, or pastels and everything else. And the reason I did that is because I have two different projects in mind, and I wanted to have them separated out for that. So those are all of my Advent minis that I got for December, and it's been such a pleasure opening them up. So yeah, that's my first work in progress. And the second work in progress is actually an ongoing project. It's not anywhere close to being done, but I thought I'd give you a little update. It's this little embroidery that I started when lockdown happened back in April. And I just freehand. I just drew the pattern freehand, inspired from something off of Pinterest, I think. And it says, just breathe. And the last time I showed you, I hadn't completed the flowers, but now I have. And I was talking to my daughter, and I said that, you know, I'm not happy with this brown. I started the lettering and I did it in a dark brown, but I wasn't happy with it. I thought it was a little, just didn't go with the rest of the color palette, and I wanted to change the color of the lettering. And so she looked at the colors that I had and suggested I use this. So let me show it to you. It's like a bright pink, but a darker pink. I don't know what the color is. It's not wine. It's got more pink to it. But yeah. So that's what she suggested for the lettering. And then I wanted to go through the flowers and just give it a little touch of a darker pink in there. And so that is what I will be using for that. And then I wanted to put in a little bit more depth to the green fern leaves. And so there is a darker green that she picked out for me. I can't tell you what these colors are because it's a very generic set that I got with so many floss. It was like 100 embroidery floss colors, and they're lovely colors, but they don't have any kind of numbering on them, or codes to tell you what they are. The DMC codes, maybe. I don't have that. So that's where I am. Just made a little bit of progress on it, and I thought I'd share that with you. And I have to say, I've seen so many people use needle minders. I don't have a needle minder. I didn't even know that there was such a thing. I just usually tuck you see that? I just put the needle at the back of the work and leave it there. And that's what I've always seen, the people I've seen do embroidery do that. So that's the method I know. But I can see how needle minders are so pretty and quite useful. So yeah, just thought I'd share that. I've also been working on my Battenberg blanket and adding some squares in, which you probably caught a glimpse of the Battenberg blanket part of it right in the beginning, but nothing substantial for me to share, so I'll just skip that. Something I forgot to mention is what I'm wearing. I am wearing the lovely pattern by Skeindeer Knits, Ellie of Skeindeer Knits, and it's called the Vinterfjell. Yeah, I think it's just Vinterfjell, and I will put that up on the screen. It's top down colorwork yoked jumper, and I used 3 different colors, including the main color, a white and a gray, and it was such a pleasurable knit. And I have to say that I will definitely be making this pattern again, knitting this pattern again, and today I'm just wearing it with a skirt. It was a lovely pattern to knit. Moving on to acquisitions or lovely things, and I have to say I have been really blessed, and I had so much fun, like I mentioned, opening up the Advent minis each day, and just enjoying the beauty of the yarn, because both my swap buddies for this year have dyed some of their own yarn. I know Karen dyed all of her yarn and she'd asked like what the colors that I like, and she had custom dyed these for me, which was really nice. And so was my package from Debbie, who was my other swap partner, and she has her own indie dye business, and it's called Black Mountain Creations BMC. So some of those minis were dyed by her, and so I have the labels with them, so just so that I can identify the ones that she's dyed. And I've enjoyed all of the little minis that I did receive. And on top of that, they spoiled me even more. So they each had a package for me to open on Christmas Day. So this is the yarn that I received from Debbie. And this is her own dyed yarn. And along with that, she gave me a lovely brooch, which I think I can use as a shawl pin too. So I'm just going to show it to you. It's beautiful. It's like studded and it's really, really nice. Yeah, and it goes so well, doesn't it? So she said she hadn't picked out a color name for this. But I told her that I think it just reminds me of an orchid. You know those really obviously dyed blue orchids, but they have like really vibrant colors, right? Like it reminds me of orchids or something very, very happy. And it is just, it's such a happy yarn. And I said that I wanted to hold on to it as eye candy for a bit before I actually found a project for it. But I think it's beautiful even just like this. So that was the first one. And then the other one was from Karen, and it's a skein from Southern Skeins, and it's called Juniper's Party, and it's sport weight. And whoops. And again, very happy colors. It's just like so bright and vibrant, and I know I want to do a Pure Joy shawl, and I'm thinking this will work perfectly in there. So yeah, that's what I got. Thank you very much for the lovely gifts, Debbie and Karen. I really appreciate it. The other lovely thing that I did receive in the mail was a package that I'd ordered on Etsy, and it was from Irina. I'm going to put her shop name up on the screen because I forget what it is right now. But this is a little needle case that she made, custom made for me. So these needles, this is my interchangeable set that I've had for a very long time, and it's my Knit Picks set, the nickel plated, and it comes in a plastic sleeve with all of the slots for the needles with their needle sizes, as well as 2 pockets at the back for the cables and things, notions I think. And it was starting to wear out. It's been so many years now, and the plastic was starting to give and tear. So I wanted a needle case, and I thought I could just, I'll get around to it. I'll make a needle case for myself. It's not that difficult kind of thought. But I never did, and I kept seeing all of these lovely needle cases online, and people making them. And then I thought this would be just one way to help a local business, especially during the Christmas season, and she had one, but she didn't have enough pockets in it for me. So I reached out to her and I asked her, could you custom make it for me, because I need, I think her standard has 7 pockets in it, and then I asked for 9 or 11, I can't remember. I think I asked for 9, and she's given me 11 pockets. So I was able to fit all, and the Knit Picks case was about this wide, and it was a little not very convenient, I would say. Like, yes, it was flat, but this is way more convenient. It's very small, it's very handy, and it has this lovely print on the inside. It's just cheerful print, and all these different slots for the needles, and I have my notions at the back. There's a pouch at the back for the notions and the cords in there as well. So all of it just fits so perfectly. And then there's this little tie thing for to keep it secured. And yeah, I thought that was really nice. So it's just got the denim on the back as well. So that was a little treat for myself, as well as, trying to help another local or small business, fiber related business in the meantime. So yes, thank you very much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed watching this knit night and maybe able to have some crafting done as well. Do leave me comments down below on what you've been working on, if you've enjoyed watching this knit night, and what you'd like to see. And if you haven't done so already, don't forget to subscribe. And if you did enjoy this podcast, give it a like, and feel free to share it with somebody. Until the next time, enjoy your knitting. Bye-bye.